And Zakaryya Abdel-Hady is an Associate Professor of Islamic Thought and Culture at Qatar University. He joins me now live in the studio. Zakaryya, thank you once again for being here. Now, Morsi is refusing to comply with the military's offer and deadline. He's basically passing up an opportunity to resolve this conflict in a diplomatic manner. Why is that? Is he baiting the military?
Well, first of all, thank you again for having me on board. But I think we have to play this game right way. Either it's a democratic way, which the ballot box have the full say for what's going on, or whatever other things. I mean, there are some groups that have been working in the forefront in Egypt before the election of Morsi and after the election of Morsi to say that if Morsi came to power, we will make him a failure. Okay, whether Morsi was a failure or not, that's another situation. Yeah, Morsi, of course.
But he has come to power, and
yeah.
You know, let me just remind you too, he's only won by 51%, really,
exactly,
which means
absolutely.
that half the country doesn't support him.
Absolutely.
We've seen more than 22 million people out on the streets. Does he not see the signal? It is time to leave.
Absolutely, he sees the signal. But according to the constitution and according to the way things are going, people, if this is the presented that we are going to do by people who just walking in the street, which is their right, I think it's very important that people have the right to say whatever they feel, as long there is no killing, there is no chaos. This staged chaos was going on for months. They've been saying, there are people in the opposition have been saying.
You can't really say it's staged chaos, though. It's not. We're not just talking about 22 million people and more than that here out on the streets. We're talking about several ministers who've resigned as well,
absolutely.
who've left their posts. He's basically, a lot of people are losing confidence in the fact that he's Egypt's leader, and they are sending their own signals to him that it's time to resign. The highest profile one, and the latest being Egypt's foreign minister. No one has confidence in him. Surely it's time for him to step down.
That could be, of course, one of the options. However, I feel I still, in the way that I look at it, if this will be the scenario that whenever we have a president and then a group of people will walk in the street, which is their right, and they will ask the army to interfere, to ask the president to resign, and instead of going to the ballot box, if we have 22 million people in the street who are against Morsi, fair enough, that's their right. They have to, they go to the ballot box and they say, okay, we don't want this guy. He no longer representing us.
Maybe the situation here is not that we don't want Morsi, but we don't want the Muslim Brotherhood to be running Egypt. After all, we've seen a lot of anger against the Muslim Brotherhood. We saw their headquarters, national headquarters, being ransacked. That in itself is a clear signal that Egyptians do not want the Muslim Brotherhood to be running the country.
Exactly. That's in itself a clear signal that it is an organized chaos. When you don't accept somebody, you don't go and burn his place. When you go and burn headquarters of the Muslim Brotherhood, whether you agree or accept them, that is not the peaceful way of saying your voice. But you go and burn, you go and kill. This is not the right stage. We have been out from the army for the last 60 years, and it is time that Egypt breathes some fresh air without any army officers controlling. And now we're asking the army to interfere again.
But it does show, too, that people would prefer to have the military take over rather than have Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood run the country. That shows how desperate and how angry people are.
Yes, I totally agree with you that there is, of course, people who are angry to the level that they were asking the military again. But is this really what people are saying? We have to look at the whole picture. There are, if we are claiming that, of course, there is 20 million people who are on the street, there are as well millions who are on the other side. So we have to look at the whole picture. And if we were saying that the difference between the scenario of 25th of January, which have managed to kick a dictator regime for 30 years that have been taking over the country, is that in 25th of January, it was the whole country together. It was all united against one thing. Today, we have a huge division, and you cannot just simply say, okay, we now will ask the army to interfere because we are a bad loser, because we lost the battle in the parliament election, we lost in the Shura Council, we lost in the constitution, we lost in all political ballot election they have lost. So the only option that's left for them is that they get the army to interfere. And this is not democracy. This
it does show desperation, though.
It shows desperation.
I'm afraid, Zakaryya,
Yes.
we've run out of time and we have to end it. Thank you very much, for being with us
Thank
here.
you.
That's Zakaryya Abdel-Hady there from Qatar University.